Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you guys once again for watching. Today I'm going to talk about some of my all-time, well not all-time, but my summertime favorites that I have been just really enjoying this summer using. One of the items I really want to kind of focus on is the item I'm going to be using instead of foundation. It is kind of a foundation, but kind of not. God, my hair is a wreck. Let me just kind of, I'm going to pull my hair back actually. And just a little low pony, just to get it out of the way. My hair's starting to get long again, and it just gets in the way. And I'm wearing one of these off-the-shoulder shirts, and I don't like the way it looks on camera, even though some of you guys said you thought it looked cute. Anyway, there's been a lot of focus on these foundations that are more of that kind of creamy, like a paste. Tarte's doing one, Tatcha's doing one, oh goodness gracious, Bobbi Brown's doing one. I happened to find one in the drugstore. And I've been enjoying this. I am I guess you could say, a die-hard L'Oreal fan, because it seems like any L'Oreal products just work really, really well on me. Excuse my bruise again. This hopefully will be going away soon. I had a little bit of filler here. I wanted to try to get, I really hate these little lines that I get right here, and we just tried a little patch right here to see what I would think about how it, and it's not really for me. My eyes are very dry today. But anyway, this is a L'Oreal product, of course, and this is the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. This is it here, and I got it at CVS. I think it was on sale for around $11.99, I believe is what it was. Usually I have my little spatula in here, which I don't have. I'm just going to use the end of a makeup brush because I don't want to really dig in there. And it is a nice thick base. Just kind of, that's it there. I'm not going to use a whole ton of it. That's actually more than I want to use, but I did want to show it to you. But you can just kind of, I like to kind of press in and up, in and up. And why I say to do in and up, because you're pressing it into the pores, and by going upwards you're getting it to kind of really go in there. Now you can use this all over your face. I prefer just to use it in my little target areas that bother me, and that is just right around my cheeks right here, and I just kind of blend it around there and kind of right here. Just really in my, I guess you would call it my T-zone, but it's mainly really these little patches right here on my cheeks that bother me. And I have one little spot right here. I have this, it's actually a pimple scar from when I was a teenager, and I popped that little pimple, and I like to go ahead and get that little spot because I can see it through my makeup all the time and it bothers me. There we go. Just keep I always keep a little makeup wipe right here on my desk so I can just kind of wipe my fingertips off after using products like that. Now I believe this was, I believe it was on sale, and I believe it was around $8.99. Don't quote me on that, I'm not positive, but I have really been enjoying this. And as somebody that I tried out the Tatcha, and I really did enjoy that. The only thing I did not like about it, I didn't like the price. But go figure. I mean, who does? Oh, let me grab my palette down here. And I'm always talking about how I take a setting spray lid and I will actually put it over some makeup if I put out too much, and that's what I actually did here, and it keeps it from drying out. Usually I'll use it the following day, and if I don't, then I'll just let it go ahead and get thrown out. I'll go ahead and wipe it off with a makeup wipe. Now a lot of you guys have talked to me in the comments about how you're not full coverage girls, you're not really foundation girls, you're not heavy makeup girls. this is the product for you. This is Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. Now, I did go and check this out in Ulta, and I believe there were 20 colors in this, starting off at the very lightest, which is Opal, and that's the color that I have. Now, Opal, let me put just a tiny bit on the back of my hand. It is a very light pink. It is, and if you see, it does have some reflective qualities about it. Not to the point where it's going to be shiny on your skin. I'm going to do one side of my face with this, just to, and you know what, I'll do this side because this is catching better light over here, and I like to use it with this brush. I got this brush in, I think it was a not BoxyCharm, a Glossy Box, to be honest with you, and this is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Skin CC Plus Skin Perfecting number 702 brush. That's a mouthful, isn't it? But it's just a kind of kabuki. It's a flat kabuki. It's a little more fluffy than most. I like to just put this on my palette and just pick it up lightly, a light amount. And you don't get a super lot of coverage from this. If you're looking for something that has a ton of coverage, it's not. This isn't it. But this will just really kind of tone down. See how it's toning down the red tones in my cheeks, underneath my eyes. And it just really took the darkness away from that there. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to do the one side of my face to really show you this, because I want you to really see how this works. I don't see a whole lot of people talking about this, which is very surprising because it is a wonderful product, and I don't think this is really a new product. Now, you can, as you see, I'm building this up a little bit. This, I would call it a sheer to medium type coverage. The reason I say medium is because, like, on areas like this, I like to just kind of pat it on, and I'll let it sit there a second just to kind of, you know, soak in, I guess, kind of toughen up, and then I'll just kind of stipple it. There we go. Now that didn't add a whole lot of color to my face. It didn't really add a whole, really coverage. It's a really, I just think this is the neatest product because, let me get close. You can see how it just really evens out my tone, evens out the redness, covers up that little bruise I had there, and it will dry down to kind of a satiny, you can see it still has a little, it's kind of a satiny, natural finish to it. Very pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the other side of my face, and I will show you some more of my favorite products. And I say these are my favorite summertime products, and that is because they're very light. Look at that. I had too much on the palette from last time, and this time I didn't have enough. Let me just put a tiny bit. It does not take a whole lot of this. It takes about that much is about what I use on my entire face. I did put a little extra out just now so I could show you what I use. Now, I had the reviews I have seen on this, I did see where people were talking about it being streaky and hard to blend. I didn't find that because I'll show you. I originally used it with my hand and just kind of brush it in like that, but I felt like I got more coverage and just a more even kind of finish from it with this brush. Now, I wouldn't say run out and buy this brush because you can probably take, I would say, any kind of loose bristled brush, even like a take a blush brush, you can take a powder brush, you can try any type of brush, really, whatever gets it on there for you. I have tried it with a sponge, and that works great. This is very, very hydrating, and that is one of the reasons I love it, which I have dry skin. Now, I wouldn't really suggest this for oily skin because I feel like it may be a little too slippery for you, a little too oily for you. And you may feel like you've got a little too much moisture, you know, a little too much oil to your skin. Now, the next one of my favorite products now has been this Urban Decay All-Nighter Waterproof setting powder, and this I believe comes in different colors. I don't recall, but if it did, this would be the lightest one. I like using this with my little Laura Mercier puff. You can get these puffs really anywhere, and I like to just kind of rub it on there and just lightly pat it over the top of this. I guess you would call that foundation that I just used. And I feel like this just really adds some color to it because this is it's a very light colored powder. You see, it's not a translucent, but it does, I guess it'd be easier for you to see right here. It does have a little bit of color, not much to it. Now, I use it just to add a little bit more color, and if you look, I go a little bit extra right in here because I can skip using a bronzer or anything like that with this. Because in the summertime, really the least products that you wear, the better. Now also, I like to take just a plain, where's my little powder brush? This is my Furless little CB4 is what it says on it. I believe these are out of stock right now. These are the contour brushes on their site. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, but I will tell you that Furless has a thing going on right now. They're going to be drawing the winner on the 26th. I'm just going over this and just patting this in just to make sure that I'm really getting a smooth. It gives you such a pretty blurring effect with those two products together. They work just so pretty together. Now, big surprise, eyebrows. My favorite has been this MAC eyebrow pencil, and this is in the color taupe. Now, I like this because, like on days like today where I'm just doing a little bit of color to my face, I'm really not trying to even add much color to my face. I'm just going to try to, you know, just even my tone out and just really just not, I guess, kind of that no makeup look, you know. Everything that I'm putting on today is very light and very airy. And for summertime, I live in Florida, and it is, like today it's pouring down rain, but normally it is very hot and humid. Our humidity is like 90%. It feels like 150%. I sweat the second I walk out the door. And what happens with me is my makeup just immediately starts to break up, and you can just see it just splitting up on my skin. I like this because you don't really have to, you know, be real accurate with where you're putting this. You're just drawing a few hairs in, and I have to draw in the little tail of my brow because I was just a smarty pants. And when I use those little shavers to shave my brows, and I got the tip of this one off, so I had to do the other one. Let me pull that down. There we go with that. You can take a little spoolie and just kind of run it through a couple times through that, just to kind of get them even and get your brows standing up. Now you can use a brow gel after that. Now, on these kind of days like this, I don't use a brow gel. I don't want a brow gel on me. I don't want nothing to do with it. Now, this is Tarte. This is the Double Duty Beauty Contour Highlight Palette. Now, they have this, if it's still on sale, I believe it, I think they were like 12 bucks or something. And this is a very pretty, cool toned bronzer. You can even use it to kind of contour. What I like to use it is, this is that Kylie brush you always see me use on my cheeks, the number 5. And I just like to pick this up and just come up here and just kind of define that cheekbone a little bit, just to kind of take that roundness away from my face and give myself a little more color right there. There we go. And kind of soften up my forehead right there on the corner. Go bring that down, and up here, see, it just kind of give a little color. Now, on days like this, you could also kind of just dab it on there and just kind of run it on the side of your nose if you want to thin your nose out a little bit. I like to also come right here and just kind of take that full roundness out of my chin and define my jawline a little bit. I can literally, the makeup that I'm showing you today, literally do this makeup in minutes. This is why I didn't want to wear this shirt. I keep feeling like I have to pull it back up. Now, I like to define my eyes a little bit. You can use the that Tarte that we used on the cheek just now, or you can, you don't have to get this palette in specific. You can grab any palette. I'm just grabbing, this is a Crown C511 brush. It's just a little flat, kind of flat but fluffy eyeshadow brush. And these are natural. I love natural bristles. This is the Dose of Color Ice Cream palette, and I really like this color here, which is the Blueberry Swirl. You can really, depending on your color, use any eyeshadow. You can use blush or what. I like to just come in here and just define that area right there, and that is about it. I just kind of define my crease a little bit and kind of come here. I go under my eye and I just blend this out. I blend this out a lot. I want this just to look like a shadow. I don't even want it to really look like I have eyeshadow on. See, I just keep blending that until I get just a little definition out of that eye, because like I said, I have hooded eyes, and I want that eye to look a little more alive and awake. And the best way I feel to do this is I look at a mirror from across the room. It's about arm's length away, and I just kind of open my eye but relax, and I bring that in that corner and just up here. See, I don't really have a whole lot of eyeshadow on there, just enough to really open that eye up a little bit. We're going to do the same thing on the other eye. I like to get it on the end of the brush, tap it off real well, and just use the end of the brush to really define where I want that crease to come over, and then I just kind of pull up. I'm just going to kind of pull upward, and it giving that a little bit of a lift appearance to my eye. Now, you don't have to do this. You can go ahead and just do just a tiny bit of bronzer there. I'm going to grab my big fluffy brush. Oh, it had something on it. I'm going to grab my fluffy brush, and I'm just going to really blend this out, because I don't really want that eyeshadow look, as I want just kind of a shadow. You can pick up more product if you feel like one eye looks a little darker than the other. It's hard for me because I have more light on this side of my face than the other, so it's a little difficult. There we go. But that's why I like this brush, to get it right on that tip there, and I can get right in here and just really deepen up that crease in there. Now you can put a little something on your eyelid if you want. I like to take this color here. This is the it's just the Berries and Cream color. It's a light cream color shadow, and if you look, I'm just dabbing my finger on there and just kind of lightening that. See the difference that makes? And I really don't have much product on there at all. But what that does is it just gives that awake look to the eye. I'm not really adding color so much as I'm adding highlight and depth. You're adding more shadows and depth and highlights to it. Now, I always talk about this. My favorite of all, you don't have to do this, but I like to have my eyeliner. I have been wearing black eyeliner since before high school, and I changed over when I discovered this brown liner from Smashbox called Sumatra. Now, I don't go real heavy with this. I just lightly go on my waterline, and on the upper I just kind of tight line it. See how that really just gives a little bit of definition to that. It gives it that look like you have a little bit of makeup on, and I like that. I hate tight lining my eyes, but I love the look of it because I'm always hitting the top. See, I just hit the top of my lid. It's one thing I've never gotten used to. And if you guys have any little secrets or tips for tight lining your eyes without really just aggravating the heck out of yourself or your eye, let me know. I'm just going to pop some more of that Berries and Cream, that light color, in there from where I got that. I dusted that off, that eyeliner I got up there, but it kind of blended out and left a shadow. I don't want a shadow on my top. There we go. See, it doesn't look like we have a super lot of makeup on, just a little, a little icing on your cake. Clean off my lips there, and I like to, this is the Kylie Jenner, and really you can grab any color. Why doesn't it say the color on here? It doesn't have the color. Lovely. Actually, this is the other one I use. This is Dolce. This came in a glossy box, and this, it just says it's number 475. I like to pick a color that is very close to my natural lip color. This is a little darker, and what I do is just come in here on the Cupid's bow, very lightly. You see how I'm just lightly kind of shadowing it? There we go. I'm just very lightly. What I'm trying to do is mimic my lip color just slightly above the line. See how that added a little? Also, you can go across here where I have a real deep Cupid's bow. I come up about halfway and just take that real deep dip away. And here. what I'm doing is just going just above the line. I'm following the line and going just right above that, just to extend it about a pencil line with past your natural line, and that just gives you kind of a fuller look to your lips. And then I take a gloss. I've been really liking this here. This is pretty vulgar, and this is, it's called the Silent Treatment. This is, it's a lip, I'd say a gloss. It's a gloss without being shiny. It is a matte lip gloss. I like it because it really helps to blend that line out. Blends that line out, and it just makes your lips look moist without being shiny. And there we go. I don't like my lips, when I don't have a whole lot of makeup on, I really don't like my lips to be shiny. But I like them to have that kind of moisture, you know, look, like they're just fresh and plump. And I think this really gives that plump look to the lip without, you know, going super crazy. If you feel like that looks a little dark on top, you can just lightly run your finger around the edge. You want to make sure not to smear it. Get it on your finger and then go into a different area where you actually smear it where you don't want it. And you can kind of brush down. See, and that just, that lightly blends out that line a little more, but gives you that nice full look. One of the other products that have been my favorite, and this is not really, it doesn't really go along with this whole look, is the Emmerisi highlighter, which now I can find my highlighter brush. I put it in here so I don't lose it. Is the Emmerisi highlighter. I love this highlighter. Now for this look, this isn't really a look you would highlight, but for the sake of showing you the product, let me show you a little trick. I like to take an old, this isn't my old one, but I take an old eyeshadow blush brush, old brush that I don't care about. And with the Emmerisi especially, and I found with some other ones, you can see where I've kind of broke down that top layer. And how I've done that is just go back and forth and just kind of, see, just break down that top layer. And by doing that, you get down to the goody part of it. I call it the goodness part. And I'm just gonna, see. What I like about this is you can just get a light little glow like that, or you can go crazy with it. Now I'm going to just do a light little glow with it. One thing I like to do is smile. And just pop it right on the top of those cheeks. So when you smile, your smile lights up the whole room. There you go. You can just kind of... The thing I like about this one, though, is you don't have to go absolutely crazy with it and, you know, get that super, you know, spotlight glow. But if you want to, you have that option to build this up, and this will build up to pretty much help spot ships from across the ocean. It is a really, really super shiny product. It's so pretty. A lot of people find this to be one of their favorites. Now, I'm always talking about Urban Decay, their Perversion mascara, and that being my favorite and pretty much above all, and not finding another one that I like as much. Well, I found this. This is Lifted by Tarte. Now, this is supposed to be sweat-proof, waterproof anti-transparent mascara, and this is in, it doesn't have the color on it, but this is, I think it was called Black Brown. It's more of a brown tint. You can kind of see it's not really dark. It's got a nice medium size applicator, and I like this because you get a lot of lift out of this. You get a lot of lift. Got that mascara look. You can see the difference with and without the mascara. Go ahead and do the other eye. I always hate how it gathers on the tip, but I found if you kind of swirl it in there, where you'll get it evenly all through the applicator instead of just dipping it in and pulling it out. And you don't want to go back and forth, back and forth like this, because you're going to push air into there, and you're really going to cause that product to dry up, and it'll actually expire before you actually get to use it all. I like to start right at the roots of my lashes and just give them a little wiggle and pull up. I get them straight where it looks like they're all kind of straight ahead like that, and then pull them up. That way you don't get that clump kind of spider leg look. You start right at the bottom, and until you get the tips of them looking where you want them, don't pull up. Just kind of wiggle a little more. That is that. And also, I've heard from somebody on here on one of my last videos talked about keeping your mascaras stored laying down. That I believe it was Jen Loves Reviews also talks about that. I keep all of my mascaras in a drawer laying flat like this, because I find that if you keep them up like this, they gather all at the bottom, and then you play hell trying to get them all, back up again to be able to use them. So, I did have one more product. Oh, I have been loving this. Now, it's a little difficult to use till you get used to it. I'm going to take a little bit of this Tarte spray, and this was actually in my BoxyCharm this month. This is the Ready Set Radiance from Tarte. I'm going to spray a little bit of that on my beauty blender. This is the beauty blender from Flower Beauty, and this is the Visible Lift Color Lift Blush from L'Oreal. Once again, I'm just crazy about these L'Oreal products. This is kind of a hybrid. It's kind of a cream type blush. It does have a little bit of a shimmer to it. I like to take a damp beauty blender and just kind of pick that up. I always pat it off on the back of my hand to make sure I don't have too much. And I just tap that on. You can kind of blend it up. Now this isn't going to go, let me show you my hand how that's actually, it's not going to go on super, super heavy. I mean, you can kind of twist it in where it's going to go darker, but no, as far as the way I'm doing it on, I just kind of pat it like that and that's a cut on my hand. Kind of just pat it on, and you see where I just pick up a light amount of that color. You can kind of pat it across the bridge of your nose and on your chin. Summertime, I always kind of do that. I'll put a little bit of my blush there and right on my chin, just a tiny, tiny bit, just to give a little flush of color. And the reason I do that is because summertime, you tend to get a little more sun, and if you are like me, I stay out of the sun. I would rather use products to add color to my face than add sun to my face that may cause cancer or aging. I'm 48 years old and I'm feeling old enough. I don't need the sun to help me anymore with that. But that is it. That is my kind of favorites for July and my kind of summer look for you guys. I will kind of finish that off with this Ready Set Radiance. I love this. This does give kind of a dewy look to the whole look. Now, if you see, it just gives you that kind of put together look, and this will this will stay on. I put that Urban Decay over, and that kind of really helps to set it in place. So if you sweat, or you know, if you get a little water even splashed on you, don't wipe it. You want to just kind of pat it. I carry a clean beauty blender with me because my eyes water, and I'll kind of pat. You know, I mean, it's your own personal stuff, so use it however you like. My nose runs. You got to do what you got to do. That, and if you start sweating and you see your makeup breaking up, you can kind of catch it real quick and just pat it up. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Every little bit helps, and it's been wonderful sharing my little tips and secrets with you guys. And if you're not a subscriber, please make sure to subscribe. Keep your eyes out, because we are going to have a big giveaway coming up very, very soon, and it may include some items that you are just dying to get into your collections. So keep an eye out. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Make sure to subscribe to Glamorous Beauty and Isaac Halbert also. They are wonderful, wonderful artists. They're up and coming, and they are truly some of my best friends. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.